Turning Point USA just wrapping up their tour stop at Utah State University tonight.
It was a packed event with thousands of people in attendance. We have live team coverage from Logan. Debbie Worthen is standing by with what people thought of tonight's event.
First, though, let's go to news specialist Aaron Cox, who was inside the Spectrum. And Aaron, what was the message this evening?
That's right, Mike and Dee Dee. So much of tonight's thoughts were focused on making sure that students don't feel afraid and don't hide behind their social media. All the speakers encourage students to have faith, build communities around them, have families, and do something to make the world a better place. The crowd was energized, clapping, chanting Charlie at the beginning. Each speaker spent a moment reflecting on their relationship with Charlie and about his assassination. Now, Senator Mike Lee pre-recorded a message from D.C. explaining he couldn't be on the panel due to that impending government shutdown. Governor Spencer Cox was booed multiple times, and the Turning Point USA host had to ask the crowd to give him room to speak. They discussed topics like faith, inclusion, the church shooting in Michigan, and how to have conversations with people who believe differently. Now, the main speaker, podcast host Alex Clark, talked about how healing doesn't come from blending in.
We fear God, nobody else. You know, we don't fear the left. We don't fear trending for the wrong reason on social media. We don't fear what our friends think, you know, even what our family thinks sometimes. We only fear God, and we only answer to God.
Now, Clark also said this was the biggest crowd Turning Point USA has ever pulled on a tour. After the panel discussion, students had the opportunity to ask questions and have a dialogue, just like if Charlie Kirk would have been here. Now, even though Governor Cox was booed, he seemed to bring the crowd around something he expressed was that it's dangerous to believe speech is violence and then to justify violence as a response to speech. He said peacemaking is not soft, rather the hardest thing we can do. Mike and Dee Dee, back to you.
Yeah, pretty interesting. All right, Aaron, thank you for that. Our own Debbie Worthen continues our team coverage out of Logan.
Debbie, you've been talking with those who were in the audience tonight. What was their reaction?
Yeah, it was overwhelmingly positive, and there were people of all ages here. Of course, a lot of students here, but also a lot of people who are no longer in college, but really wanted to be part of something that Charlie Kirk started.
I hope that we can get ourselves back to our Tea Party values.
Earlier tonight, the line was 4 deep and long. We're told officially there were over 6,000 people here, filled to capacity that they set. The crowd waiting in line was pleasant, not rowdy, mostly mild-mannered. Most people we talked to say they had planned on coming even before Charlie Kirk's death, but now wouldn't miss it. And it did not disappoint.
I loved it.
There was a lot of clapping, a lot of standing. Everyone's like, woo!
Sitting in the stadium tonight and seeing so many young people with those values and morals and so excited, I just feel like it's all going to be good.
Vibe was hopeful. It felt like the United States was being revived.
A lot of Christian views too.
Yes. They just felt hopeful for the country.
Not everyone loved it. There were a handful of people, some who did not attend but were here on campus, who told me they felt attacked.
I kind of felt that the left was not demonized in a way, but I think the rhetoric was that the right was doing it in a peaceful manner. They were praying, but the left was kind of attacking. I don't think Charlie Kirk would want that.
Now, security was really high here tonight as well, which we expected. In fact, I talked to the Cache County Sheriff, who told me that he had about 24 of his deputies here just to help out to make sure everything went off without a hitch. And it looks like at this point, that has happened. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, I'm grateful everything there was peaceful tonight. Debbie, thank you.